Now to a mystery about what killed hundreds of catfish at Chickamauga Lake. It's led to speculation about water quality and whether or not something is happening under the water.
Local 3's Jemiah Beatty is in the studio now with some answers she received from a biologist. Jemiah.
Greg, Cindy, the TWRA has had their hands full on this. Mike Jolly, the reservoir fish manager at the TWRA, says people have a right to be concerned, but says this is all part of the natural order.
We hope that the actual fish kill is post and over. I mean, there's always going to be some dead fish to be observed in a reservoir for various reasons.
TWRA's Mike Jolly is one of the biologists observing the ongoing catfish situation in Chickamauga Lake. Jolly says when the agency conducted initial investigations last week, the catfish had been dead for 72 hours. He says he understands concerns, but the number of catfish found belly up is consistent with the annual death rate.
Typically, it's not unheard of for a species to lose about 35% of their population annually. But of course, the reproductive rate of those fish, are building that back up again, and it's an evolving process.
The TWRA doesn't believe bacteria, viruses, or chemicals played a role since every catfish found was the same color and size. Jolly says reservoirs aren't natural systems for even the strongest species of fish. He says catfish of any type are usually not the first to die when environmental disruptions happen. But he says reservoirs like Chickamauga Lake are constantly changing.
The reservoirs are also going through a time of filling to the summer pool level. So they haven't achieved that status yet. So there's a lot more retention time in a reservoir. In other words, there's not as much flow passing through the dams right now as you would see at other times of the year.
Jolly says there are no indicators the catfish deaths were caused by bad water quality or other environmental factors, but they are waiting to draw a final conclusion after investigations.
These fish are obviously not going to disappear overnight. So a lot of the reports that we're getting are from the same areas, probably the same fish that we saw, or our staff saw last week at the end of the week there. So that's going to be ongoing for a little while as well.
I did reach out to the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation for comment about the water condition at the lake. They said the latest tests show results are within normal ranges and no fishing consumption or bacterial advisories are posted. The TWRA says they'll update us when their investigation is complete. In the studio, Jemiah Beatty, Local 3 News.